Honestly, if I get into it anymore, I could turn this video into strictly one about New Horizons, so it's best if we just moved on to the next game. 5 games, 2 spin-offs, 1 mobile game. The Animal Crossing franchise has been around for 20 years now and sold almost 60 million units worldwide. Known for its cute art direction and characters, relaxing gameplay, and being one of the most family-friendly games out there, it's hard to meet anyone who doesn't at least know about the series or tried it once. Not only does it reach the best-selling games each console has any iteration on, it's also one of the highest scoring if we're looking at Metacritic, assuming we're all on the same page of just, forgetting Amiibo Festival even fucking happened.
That was a thing that happened once. In a good Animal Crossing game.
I don't believe him.
That's a false
There
story.
are no good Animal Crossing games, says Jacob, out of all of the ones he's played.
I've never played any of them except for this one, and now I officially don't.
Why am I losing? This is not a good game.
This week, just flew by. It didn't.
All these credentials, all these awards, all this love, and I still don't know what the fuck to do in this game, man. The latest installment, New Horizons, has been out for a year now, and as most people will tell you, it came out at the right time. COVID had us all trapped inside, and since the world shut down basically within the same month as its release, the cute and cuddly world of Animal Crossing was the perfect place to escape from the growing nightmare that is mishandling a pandemic. So, despite its delay, New Horizons was welcomed with open arms by fans new and old alike. I personally haven't played New Horizons for several months now, although this installment was for sure the one I put the most hours in. Despite that, the series still couldn't hold me. But since the 1-year anniversary is coming up, I thought I'd dive back into it. See how my island is doing, how the community is holding up, and just why the hell I can't seem to connect with this game like so many others are able to. Loading New Horizons back up, after 8 months by the way, thank you Kit, I was met with my messy-haired villager and a stacked mailbox with letters from residents and my mom alongside Nintendo. Before I descended upon the assured, desolate landscape that was Esther Isle, I made sure to quickly dive into my home so I could hide my shame. Several cockroaches had moved into my seemingly vacant mansion since I previously had been here, so that means I had one job to do. Rip and tear. While I had certainly expected the worst when returning to the island, I didn't actually find that much weed growth or any dead flowers to be particularly abundant. Exploring the wintry landscape was nice and calming. In fact, the biggest offender was the amount of abandoned landscapes and projects I just had around the island that never saw fruition due to either A, my lack of imagination, or B, my lack of patience. Honestly, I got absorbed pretty quickly when starting the game back up. For a little bit, I forgot about real life and just enjoyed walking around and seeing the villagers I left behind. It really scratched that social itch just enough for me to be actually genuinely happy to see everyone. Just going about their days, sitting, talking, crafting. It was all so nice, and if there's one thing that Animal Crossing has down, it's atmosphere, which is aided thanks to the especially gorgeous visuals. It's pretty hard for me to get to like winter in any form for more than just the first snowfall of the year, but the soft blankets coating the island and the slowly falling snowflakes capture the heart very easily. The lush greens to the vibrant oranges of the island just make you feel so comfortable and relaxed, like everything is going to be okay. Barring the Tanuki, who wants to see you indebted to him forever. I almost forgot why I stopped playing, until I didn't. Then I just found myself disappointed again. New Horizons' big thing was finally being able to place items, homes, shops, and other random things wherever you wanted, giving the player even more power and limited freedom. No longer are you simply the mayor, in charge of when villagers were active and making sure projects are funded. Now you're in charge of a whole damn island. A decent evolution of the Animal Crossing formula from New Leaf, especially for creative types. However, I can't help but feel this is the antithesis of what AC is all about. New Horizons, and New Leaf to an extent, diverted the series from cute village simulator to power fantasy very quickly, so much so that you're basically just training to be the next Tom Nook under the Big Tanuki himself. This is my island. I decide if you live here. I decide where your house goes. I decide which projects get funded. I decide the entire aesthetic and item placement of the whole island, except for the initial 3 villagers used to teach you that you can place items outside. All of this and more, giving the player so much control. This is a fine and fun idea, yes, but I can't help but feel it would have been better off as a spin-off. I don't feel like a villager anymore, or a part of the community. Part of the charm of the older games was dealing with the imperfections that just came with small community life. Yeah, it sucked when you got an ugly villager. Yes, it sucked when a house was placed in an odd spot, but all that amounted to a more unique experience. But you can just place the houses anywhere now and make them have odd placements, you might say. Yeah, that's true, but it's my placement. It takes away from the individuality of the villager, which leads to the next issue, just how damn dull the villagers are now. There are 8 personality types currently in the game, 4 for males, 4 for females. Don't know why that's still a thing by this point in the series, but oh well. Doesn't really matter in the long run if all the personalities are virtually the same anyways. It's a known complaint for New Horizons that the villagers are just so bland. Working out isn't a personality, it's a hobby. Normal isn't a personality, it's something determined by society. I know there's a big want out there for cranky mean villagers to come back and be vicious, but I don't want villagers to be total douchebags. A nice revamp for the mean-spirited villagers would have them with dialogue that insults your placement of projects or house items, not tell me I'm a stupid fuck who wears adult diapers. Remember when I mentioned the whole beginning villagers having you place items outside their house tutorialization earlier? Man, you know what would have been really dope? If the villagers just did that by themselves. Have an imaginary boundary that can't be placed outside of to prevent anything crazy, and boom, now things are getting interesting. Makes me want to interact with these villagers more. Yeah, it's cool they teach you emotions, but what if the specific personalities had some tied behind them? What if 2 villagers didn't get along and clash so much that one just moves out? There's a lot of cool possibilities, but you know what we got? Crafting, which is neat, sure, and helps the player feel a bit more satisfaction when it comes to acquiring the crafted items, but I know that some people wanted to go further and have farming introduced to the game, but I just don't see why? If I wanted to farm, I'd just play Stardew Valley. I just feel like it's a little out of place is all. By far, I believe the most disappointing thing about New Horizons is the lack of things to do with your friends online. Tortimer Island from New Leaf added a lot of fun to the experience, and it's just not here now? No more specific tours, no more matching items, no more scavenger hunt, no more balloon hunt. The most we can do is fish together or catch bugs. I mean, it's nice that visiting islands via dreams is still here, which can lead to some interesting finds. However, people were left with making things fun in multiplayer themselves, which isn't something foreign to the franchise. But why cut out things to do with your friends? The whole game is about community, and we're all stuck here with the usual fishing and bug catching. This just seems like something we should have expanded more on, instead of being cut. All multiplayer ended up being for me was going to friends and random people's islands to sell fruit stalks, or just buy an item that wasn't currently in my Nooklink shop. I ended up making a poll on Twitter to see how long people played on average in any Animal Crossing game, and the majority of votes went to the 1 week to 3 month category, which made me feel a lot less shittier. I usually only last around 3 months or so before I basically drop it. Looking through the update history for the first year just leaves me disappointed. It's less actual content and just item filler. I understand the drip feed of the holiday updates, but at this point, New Horizons just feels way too hollow. It's honestly just a damn shame. Maybe some of the content is going to be fixed in the updates following the first year, or maybe this is just what Animal Crossing is now.